Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB, back in the building, back with another video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into this one really quickly, guys. I've been on a plane all day. Finally made it down here to Mexico, guys. I'm in my hotel room. So I finally got a chance to check out the fight that I was really anticipating last night. I don't have the zone, so I had to kind of wait for the highlights to come out, and I just finished watching it. Of course, I'm talking about the Alexis Rocha, Blair Cobbs 147-pound fight last night. Now, if you guys watched my last video on Blair Cobbs, it was him. I was explaining how he kind of came at Errol the True Spence Jr., you know, taking on the big fish verbally, talking about how he wanted to face Terrence Crawford. He even talked about wanting to face Jerron Ennis, just, talking up a big game, talking himself up there. He even talked himself into the main event as of last night. And I didn't really know a lot about Blair Cobbs, and, just him being vocal, putting himself out there made me interested in seeing how well he would fare last night, and if he would be able to stand on the stage with some of these big names that he was calling out, because he had a lot to say. Now, a lot of you guys know Blair Cobbs was stopped last night by Alexis Rocha last night in the 9th round. Of course, Errol Spence, he had something to say on his Twitter. He was going to clap back after that. I think Terrence Crawford has some stuff to say as well, so if you guys are welcome to go over there and check out their Twitter pages to see what they had to say. But like I said, I was interested in seeing how well he did, and my opinion on Blair Cobbs last night, I would say the first half of the fight, I think the first maybe 4 rounds, I thought he did fairly decent. I did see some holes in his game. The lack of defense, having his chin up in the air. He did possess a lot of athleticism. He knew how to move around the ring beautifully. He was throwing some combinations in those first few rounds, but I think the lack of defense and not being able to stay away from Rocha's left hand, straight left hand, was his demise. I think in the 5th round was when he first got rocked by that left hand, and that left hand just found a spot all night long. He actually got dropped, guys, in the 8th round. It wasn't with the left hand though. It was with a uppercut with his right hand. And the 9th round, he was just getting pummeled, and the referee stopped the fight. Blair Cobbs was still punching. As a matter of fact, he was punching the referee because he was still throwing his hands. So I will say this: he was putting up a fight. But he lacks defense. I think, he has some holes, like I said, to tweak in his game. He can be a better fighter. I can see some talent there, but last night just was not his night. And let me say this, when you're talking a big game, you're going to have to be able to go in there and back those words up that you say. You're calling out these big names, and you're putting yourself out there, and then when you get dominated like he did last night, it's hard to live that down. A lot of people are letting Blair Cobbs have it, and it's rightfully so. He did talk a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I do understand, him being a prospect, and he's a little bit older than your average prospect. He's up in his 30s. He doesn't have a lot of time to waste, so he's got to get his name out there. He's got to get known. So I guess calling out these guys, throwing dirt on their name is the best way to get your name known out there, and it worked for him. Like I said, he talked himself into a main event now, but he didn't follow through with his actions last night in the fight. He put up a decent fight, but he just wasn't good enough last night. So if he couldn't get past Alexis Rocha last night, there's no way he's going to beat somebody like Terrence Bud Crawford. There's no way he's going to beat somebody like Errol the True Spence Jr. Or even Jerron Boots Ennis. These guys are on their A game. These are top level guys. Maybe not Jerron yet. You know, he's still somewhat of a, you know, prospect contender type fighter. But those two other guys that I'm talking about, you know, him going in there fighting like he did last night with Rocha, there's no way he's going to be any competition for somebody like Errol, the True Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford. But you know, sometimes you need an ass whooping to teach you a lesson. Sometimes you need an ass whooping to make you get on top of your game, to make you plug the holes in your game. So I know he's probably a little bit embarrassed what happened to him last night, but I thought he put up a decent fight. He just needs to plug the holes in his game and get back out here and do what he needs to do. Just keep on moving on. Just, you know, I don't know if he's going to be doing the trash talking that he was doing to these guys. I haven't heard him say anything since the fight, but you know, it is what it is. Does he have a future? You know, I don't know. You know, he's an older guy. We're just gonna have to see what happens with Blair Cobbs. But as far as him being in the top elite right now, it's not happening. He just doesn't have the complete package, I think. You know, I think some skills are there, but he still needs to work on some things. But you guys tell me what you think about the fight last night. How did you feel about Blair Cobbs? Were you a little bit impressed by some of the things he was able to do? Did you think he was trash? Do you think he'll be back? Do you think he'll be able to build himself up to become a champion at welterweight? You guys let me know in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.